On behalf of the University of Strathclyde, I welcome you all to the Barony Hall for today's Congregation for the Conferment of Degrees. It's a very special day. It's been a long period since we last had our graduations. It was in November 2019, before the coronavirus pandemic took hold, that we had those, and we never ever thought that there would be such a gap between the graduations. So we're absolutely delighted that we're here today. And it's special for a number of different people, not only just the graduates, but for the family and friends who've come here today to be with you. And I know how difficult it's been, the journey that you've been on over the past 12 months, trying to get through life with all these restrictions. And I know how difficult it is as a parent myself, and in terms of helping your children and your friends just to get through the studies when it can be quite a lonely time. And so I know how special it is for those of you who are here, and also for those who can't actually make it, but they're thinking of you today. And it's very special for our staff. Our staff have had to work under very challenging circumstances to give you the education that you deserve, the very best that we can give you. And they're delighted for you as well when we get to the end of this journey. And graduation ceremonies, they're also known in other countries as commencement ceremonies. And they're commencement ceremonies because although you're ending a journey, but you're actually beginning a new journey, a new phase of your life. And at Strathclyde, we embody that concept of the change from the being a graduate, being a student, to being a graduate and being an alumna or an alumnus. And you can see that in the way in which we have our ceremony, when each of you individually will walk up the stairs and you'll walk towards me, and it's like the end of a journey. And then you'll come to me and I will cap you. And I will cap you, and that's when you become a graduate, as you move from that graduand, the student, to being a graduate. And then you walk off in a new phase of your life, joining more than 175,000 Strathclyde graduates around the world and 40,000 business school graduates. After the ceremony, we will have an academic procession. And the academic procession will walk from here all the way to our newest building, our Learning and Teaching building, which we opened in the summer. And there you'll be able to have some refreshments and have an opportunity to chat to the staff and to each other. So it is, as I said, it's a very special time for us all. And for those of you who are here to celebrate with your loved ones, please feel free that when your loved one comes up to get capped, to have that mark of achievement, celebrate with them, appreciate the time, and celebrate in your own way. You know, if you want to cheer or you want to clap loudly, it's entirely up to you. We just want to enjoy yourselves today. So without further ado, I am now going to declare this congregation open, and I will invite Professor Susan Howick, who is the Vice Dean of Strathclyde Business School, to present our graduands.
Executive Dean, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Master of Science in Digital Marketing Management, Temitope Timothy Alabi. Nicholas James Barclay. Lakshay Bhatia. Ross Bogdan Czarnowski. Eliana Christou. Kieran Emil Caton Gomes Chamberlain. Fraser Stuart Graham. Anastasia Impereri. Amy Christina Ferguson Kennedy. Masali Mains. Rachel McCormick. Natalie Ann McGuinness. Ewan William McKinney. Blair McMahon. Hayley Michael. Fiona Kirsten Sutherland. Robert Finlay Watson. Emma Louise Wyatt. Zainab Zaki. Daniela Zanderer. In Innovation and Marketing Management, Ben Dixon. Sean George Mitchell. Igne Stasitit. Avantika Sudhakar. In Marketing, Anya Rachel Barsokas. Alex Gillian Boyd. Xiaolin Zai. Chuyin Chen. Christiana Dimitrian. Jennifer Alice Edwards. Kyle Fleming. Shizuka Hayashi. Hoifeng Jiang. Megan Beth Lauder. Milka Lorena Marberg. Agota Mike. Nathan Murjani. Anna Nestorova. Ewan Mark Patterson. Stephen Alistair Ray. Aksa Riaz. Emma Claire Rickard. Amy Frances Scott. Tanu Sharma. Angus Livingston Buchanan Shearer. Lee Patrick James Shields. Songbao Su. Rahul Maheshsin Tomar. Essine Anna Turan. Jiaying Ye. Yuiwo Zhang. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Marketing and Business Enterprise, Estera Sandra Nowak. For the degree of Postgraduate Diploma in Marketing, Wei Zhong Tu.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, but most of all, our graduates, I warmly welcome you once again to this special ceremony and memorable day. A day that marks the culmination of a sustained period of demanding work and dedication for our new graduates. You've graduated in front of your family, your friends and peers. So I begin my address by congratulating you, our class of 2021, on your achievements during very challenging circumstances. Congratulations. In a short while, as I said earlier, you'll be invited to join an academic procession when we leave the hall. This is a symbol that you're no longer students, but full members of the academic community at the University of Strathclyde, and one that numbers over 175,000 people across the world. This November, we are celebrating our first in-person graduation ceremonies since the beginning of the coronavirus epidemic. The pandemic has challenged our health systems, impacted our economies, and changed the way we work. But it has also demonstrated what society can achieve when we work together. And it has placed science and business at the forefront of the solutions to the challenges that we face. For it was science and business and universities that delivered vaccines for the COVID-19 virus in record time. And it is science and education that will help us address the most pressing issue of our day, climate change. Earlier this month, as you all know, Glasgow hosted COP26, the summit of the world leaders and nations which came together to agree measures to prevent catastrophic warming of our planet. But we must also recognise that the challenges of coronavirus and climate change have exposed divisions in our societies, weaknesses in our systems, and even seen the denial of science and expert knowledge. The University of Strathclyde is an institution where freedom of thought is encouraged and valued. It's an institution exemplified by tolerance and inclusivity, one which seeks to play a significant role in shaping the world in which we live through our teaching, our research, and through you, our graduates. Now, as graduates of Strathclyde, you too must play your part in drawing upon the knowledge that you have gained here and the learning that is still to come to build a brighter future, using the business principles, the marketing skills that you've learned to solve the pressing challenges that we face. COP26 saw former President Barack Obama come to Strathclyde, and he spoke with the students about the important role of youth and young people and how you can help tackle climate change. And Mr. Obama had a simple but incredibly powerful message: get active. And that's an appeal that I ask you, our graduates, to act upon. And in getting active, I hope you will demonstrate Strathclyde's socially progressive values and ethos of tolerance, pluralism, and a desire to make a positive difference. In reaching this moment, you will all have had the support and encouragement of your supporters, your families, your friends, your teachers, and your mentors. Some of them are here today, but obviously because of social distancing, we're unable to fit everyone in. And there'll be a lot of people thinking of you, at this point in time. And I'm sure that you wouldn't have got through this without them. So I'm now going to ask you to take this opportunity to show your appreciation and gratitude with a sincerely felt round of applause for those here and for those who can't be here. Similarly, you've all been helped by our wonderful staff who have worked so hard under the most challenging of circumstances to provide you with a first-class education and an outstanding student experience, and for whom your success is their reward. I've been working with our staff, through the pandemic, and the amount of additional work that they've put in to try and adapt everything that we've done has been absolutely incredible. And so I would like to, on behalf of all of you, thank all of our staff here for the work that they've done. Thank you very much. So your success and our success as a university is in no small part due to the efforts of our staff who deliver our vision of Strathclyde as a socially progressive, leading international technological university. Of all the key figures in our history, Professor John Anderson was the one who made it possible back in 1796, at the end of the Scottish Enlightenment. And Strathclyde was founded for the benefit of all humankind, to be a place of useful learning. And Anderson believed in knowledge for the greater good and education for all. And we call it widening participation today. Strathclyde is at the forefront of widening access to higher education, and we welcome everyone with the ability and the desire to learn regardless of their personal circumstances. It's something that we're incredibly proud of as an institution. We're a research-intensive university whose vision is to make a positive difference to the lives of our students, society, and the world. Through our groundbreaking research, we're helping to change the world for the better. Our researchers are leading the development of innovative technologies that will facilitate the transition from fossil fuels to clean, sustainable energy sources, such as wind, solar, and hydrogen. And we hope those will power the future world and tackle climate change. And our business school academics, and particularly our marketing academics, are at the very heart of these endeavours through their research. We have experts in consumer marketing, digital marketing, open innovation, all sitting here on the stage today, and they're working to help this world be a better place. We're developing new drugs using new digital manufacturing processes that will provide cheaper, more effective treatments in the fight against cancer, kidney diseases and inflammatory diseases, while also helping our health services evolve to face the challenges of health and social care in the changing demographics of the 21st century. And through our focus on entrepreneurial education, we're helping students and staff and our graduates, like you, to create new businesses with sustainability in mind. And these are in turn creating new jobs and supporting economic growth. We're leading the revitalisation of this part of the city through the Glasgow City Innovation District. And we're attracting companies both large and small to work here in the university to create new ideas, technologies and solutions to a range of problems. And you might have seen our Technology and Innovation Centre down at the bottom of the hill, and we're going to be looking to build another 2 buildings tied to that. We're working in areas like health tech, fintech, 5G, industrial informatics, space and quantum, and much of that is based on our campus. As a university, we continually work to enhance our students' experience, investing in our campus as evidenced by the new Strathclyde Sport building and also the learning and teaching building that we'll be in later on today. And we're investing in health and wellbeing services, and we're putting our students at the heart of everything we do. Our progress and our efforts in all of these areas have been recognised in recent years with a host of awards. We became the only university to win the Times Higher Education UK University of the Year twice. The last time was in 2019. We've been named Business School of the Year, Workplace of the Year, and having Research Project of the Year as well, all in just in the last, say, 5-6 years. And despite the many challenges that we faced as a university, particularly over the last 20-odd months, Strathclyde Business School has had reason to celebrate, and in particularly the marketing department has had reason to celebrate. You may not know this, but this is the 50th anniversary of the Department of Marketing. It's one of the oldest and most well-established departments of marketing in Europe. We were incredibly proud to have received a £50 million donation from an alumnus of the Department of Marketing, and he wanted to gift the university this £50 million to honour us and to also recognise the help that we have provided him. So Dr. Charles Huang, and through his philanthropic donation, he has awarded £20 million to the business school and particularly the Department of Marketing, and that's going to allow us to create an institute for international business, a global leaders scholarship programme, and also a number of entrepreneurship awards, which we've already started awarding. And all of these different things are all being named after his supervisor, Professor Stephen Young, who sadly passed away just before we received the gift. And I was with Charles, and Charles is now a billionaire now, and I said to him, I was having dinner with him just a couple of months ago, and I asked him, I said, look, you know, where did you stay when you were here? He was here in the 90s. And he said, I stayed, you know, when I was just a student, I stayed in a place called the Red Road Flats. Some of you might know that. It was in Sighthill. And it was a place where the less privileged people in society, you know, just the working class stay. And a lot of asylum seekers stayed and people who are just looking to make a new life. And they've been knocked down now. And he said, I said, well, why did you stay there? And he says, well, it was the only place that I could stay. But I wanted to come to Strathclyde because it was Strathclyde, and particularly the Department of Marketing, that had the skill set and the knowledge that I needed, I felt that I needed. And then I asked him, well, why are you feeling like you want to donate the money? You know, it's such a large gift. In fact, it's the largest gift in Scottish university history. And he said, the reason is because of the staff. When I graduated, I went back to China, and I faced many challenges like you will all face in your life, especially in your time coming out as you're getting through your career. And he said, I always felt able to go back to the department and ask the staff advice, help, guidance. And that's something that really epitomises Strathclyde. Strathclyde is a place that, you know, when you leave here, it's not the end of this journey, it's the beginning. You know, and please feel part of this family of over 175,000 people. Please come back to us, keep in touch with us, because you are now Strathclyders, you're our ambassadors for the future. And we hope you will be as successful as Charles, but even if you're not, that you make a difference to the world and you be the best you can be. And if you do that, then you will make Strathclyde proud, and we'll be delighted to hear from you. The other £30 million is going to be used to build 2 more sustainable buildings to attract more companies, more researchers into the university. So it's been a fantastic year, and I want to just, and I suppose another final point I want to make is the rankings. We've had, the most recently, it was the Complete University Guide 2022, and your department, the marketing department, was ranked 3rd in the whole of the UK for marketing. That's an incredible achievement. You're part of one of the top marketing departments in the whole of the UK, and we're proud of that, and we know you'll be proud of that. And it's with immense pride that we see you graduate today. And though you may be leaving us, as I said, you are part of our Strathclyde family. You are a Strathclyder, and you'll always be a Strathclyder. And we hope that you'll continue to stay in touch. You'll let us know how you get on and continue to contribute to Strathclyde's activities as an alumna or as an alumnus, and help us educate the future cohorts of marketing students in the business school. So it's your day. It's time for you to celebrate now with your loved ones. So on behalf of the University of Strathclyde, congratulations again to each and every one of you. And I wish you every success for the future. Thank you. So it's coming to the end of our ceremony today. The coronavirus epidemic has changed many things. We've got obviously social distancing, and one of the things that I found out is that this piece here, this used to be where people get graduated, and when you came on the stage you would kneel here and then get capped. But now we have it to make sure we've got social distancing. But if any of you have got grandparents or parents, it's probably very likely that they would have actually been here, and if they graduated from Strathclyde, and they would have actually knelt here. So it's a nice wee point I realised yesterday at another graduation when our principal was telling us about this. So now that we've finished, we're going to have the academic procession. The academics will move out, and then we ask the graduates to then follow us to have that procession up to the Learning and Teaching building. And once the graduates have left, we then ask if the friends and family are here, if you can then follow on after that. So I now declare this congregation closed, and please be upstanding.